Mm. Oh, hello, collective. So this is an impromptu collective reading, and Lord, it's already looking a little laggy. So I hope this is gonna work. So, long story short, I was trying to record a sign reading for Patreon. I am not doing sign readings. It's a long story. Don't worry about it. But I was trying to do Aries, and the message, like, I've been trying to do Aries for days, and I realized, like, oh, this is, as I got into it and I was talking about all the energy that was moving through me that I was observing for the Aries collective, I was like, oh shit, this is actually being more than Aries. This is also why I've stopped doing sign readings, because every time I've tried to do a sign reading, I can see how it is much farther reaching than that. I mean, technically, we all have the signs on our chart, and technically, every reading is a collective reading anyway. Oh, damn it. So, okay, before I start, hmm, sorry, what I'm seeing is making me emotional. So before I started the Aries reading, like right as I was sitting down, 3 cop cars pulled up in front of my place to stop one little Honda Civic. And I don't know if I'm just like feeling this guy's emotion. They literally just arrested him. They've been out there for like 20 minutes. Um, and I just can't imagine what they arrested him for. And I don't know. It's making me emotional for some reason. Oh my God, Spirit, you were so funny. Okay, not funny, but just the way Spirit works, right? So let me tell you what was coming up in the reading, and then we will continue from where we took off or left off in that other video. I'm probably deleting it anyway. Um, so Aries, what I was getting, I can't stop watching what's going on outside. I feel like what I'm watching outside is triggering the persecution wound that I talked about on, oh, see, can you tell it's making me emotional on the Island Turtle Talk episode? Um, oh my God, it is. It's making me so emotional. Um, the reason I do think this is a collective reading, one, I'm realizing this is relating to persecution wound that is very much collective right now. But also Venus is an Aries and Chiron is an Aries. And they're both very active. We're also getting ready for Venus to go retrograde through Aries and then back through Pisces, right? Which is all about the individual and being able to take action and take initiative. And even as I'm getting into it, it's like, oh, it is also our ability to protect ourselves. Aries is also okay. Aries is also that ability to protect ourselves. It is that Mars masculine emperor energy, and that is what masculine energy, divine masculine energy does. It protects. Um, okay, I know this reading is going off on a tangent, but there's a reason this shit is coming up, so I'm just gonna trust it. Um, and we do live in a world right now where there are a lot of reasons to not feel safe, especially like it's crazy, right? Because I'm talking about like the police are right outside, and it's like, at least in this country, there are a lot of people that, yes, we are supposed to like feel protected by the police, and we don't. I think a lot of people don't. I'm not saying everyone, but I think there are a good chunk of people in this country anyway that don't feel safe and protected by the police. And it's like even the guy they arrested, I'm like, what could this man like? I don't know. Something in me was like, what could this man have done? Is it a justified arrest? Even when they pulled up in front of my place, I was like, do I need to pull up my phone and record? Like, because I'm about to watch some shit going down. You know what I mean? And for anybody who's been dealing with the persecution wound, whether you have been identifying with it as like the witch's wound, and I talked about this in the podcast episode I posted earlier. Um, it should be on Spotify by now, I think. I don't remember. Anyway, um, being wrongfully persecuted, imprisoned, or judged or harmed, right, for just being you or for being an expression of truth, or for engaging in beliefs or activities that people were afraid of, right? I don't know that man. I don't know if he did something. I don't know. But like just watching that go down is like making me very emotional. And I think it's because of all the things that we're talking about. Oh, I can tell I'm so laggy. Oh, anyway. Um Air it's called you Aries again. Let's come back to the main collective message here. Okay. Uh Leading up to trying to do the reading for Aries, the reason it took me so long is because when I would do sign readings, there were definitely times when it would be hard for me to get into a sign's energy because there was so much energy being moved through for that particular collective or for the collective in general in relation to that sign. Okay? Like speaking to like massive astrology transits, for example. So the energy that I've been witnessing within myself and outside of myself has been this like frustration, this well and ball of frustration and anger and resentment, and it feels very volcanic. And then it was very clear that this is a very volcanic energy. Some of you guys could be very aware of volcanic activity, earthquakes at this time, or have been recently. And when I say that, like maybe you've been getting a lot on your feet about that, maybe you've just been more intrigued by that, maybe you've wanted to be around these kinds of environments that have this kind of activity. Some of you guys could have been feeling like you've been feeling earthquakes only to find out you haven't been. It is this as this eruptive, I'm just watching them, this is that eruptive volcanic energy that's happening within you, whoever's resonating with this message, okay? And definitely the solar is a big part of this, along with the root chakra, okay? With the solar, what I was getting with this collective is that you have been going through some sort of alchemy with your solar plexus. And I know when I did the weekly, I can tell I'm so laggy, it's making me so irritated. Um, when I did the weekly on Monday, I know there was a sign that had some digestive stuff coming up. I don't remember which sign it was, but that's also something I was getting with you. Like I think this process has been going on for a while. So again, digestion issues, bowel movement issues, nausea, vomiting, maybe even feeling like you've got a stomach bug, maybe feeling like you want to really eat a lot or you suddenly can't eat, maybe even wanting to eat different foods, things like that. But this alchemy in the solar plexus, hi buddy. Hi. I know you're like, oh, she's doing readings. I should come join. Anyway, um, the alchemy that's been happening with your solar plexus, it has also been, because it's been in flux, there's also been this frustration and almost like a confusion or push pull on how you should be making decisions, or even like how to navigate taking action in different ways. And I think it's probably been very frustrating for you. It's probably been bringing up some old stuff as well, in terms of anything that's been getting in the way of how you stay on top of your shit, or how you decide to make change, or how you get things done, right? Again, decision making. And only you know what that would be if it's bringing up some old stuff for you, okay? And what I was getting is like, it's like coming back up again. This ball of frustration and emotion, like trying to come to the surface, like a volcano, right? But as it does come up to the surface and you allow yourself to be honest about what it is you're frustrated about, any sort of sense of restriction, any sort of sense of feeling controlled, feeling dominated, feeling like you can't like make these decisions or navigate your life on your own terms. These were different things that were themes that were coming up around some of this frustration and around some of these emotions. Some of you it's just pure stress. Some of you it's feeling overwhelmed. Some of you it's feeling overburdened. Some of you it's been, doubts and fears and insecurities around your own feeling of being capable of handling certain situations or making certain decisions, even if you haven't felt that way before. This is all because of your solar plexus going through this alchemy and a purging and a burning away of some of these old stuff or some of these things, right? But if you allow that frustration to come to the surface, if you, I want to say break ground, like very much like a volcano would, and we'll talk about the analogy there, but allowing that frustration and anger to spew out of you, whether you need a scream, some of y'all need a primal scream. Maybe you practice that. Maybe you've already been doing that. Okay. But to just scream and just let it out, have that volcanic eruption. And as that happens, the raw emotion behind that anger and frustration starts to come out and starts to show itself. And that may feel like there's almost a prolonged sting or prolonged destructive energy that comes out of you, but it absolutely is healing. And that is the power of fire. That is the purification of fire. And I do feel like we're going to be learning a lot about that. As we progress in the year, as we move into Neptune Aries, Saturn Aries, etc. I think we're going to learn about that a lot with Venus, actually, during Venus retrograde. And I've been meaning to look at the astrology because with feminine Aries energy and all this volcanic stuff coming up, especially while Chiron is still in Aries, I don't know, there's something about that feels like it's going to be felt more with Venus and Aries versus Neptune and Saturn Aries. But I digress. Let's come back. Okay. But as you start to feel the emotion behind the anger and the frustration and you let it come down, you let it settle, it may feel like there's still this burning, like there's still this like sting of frustration, sting of resentment, sting of, I don't want to do things a certain way that other people want me to, or the way society wants me to. I want to do it this way. I want to do it that way. And feeling like like you just can't quite do it. Just understand while you're in that tension. If they're showing me the Two of Swords and Two of Pentacles, twos may be significant for you. It's just part of the flux of the transition your solar plexus is going through, and it is absolutely pushing this shit up and out. Okay, and it needs to be pushed up and out. So yes, have grace for yourself, but allow yourself to also put words to your anger, words to your frustration, so it can come out, and it will facilitate that. Okay. um and yes, some of you, this absolutely ties to the persecution wound, right, of feeling like if you try to make decisions or take action in a way that you truly want, that in some way, shape, or form, someone's going to come by and try to stop you or try to like prevent you from doing that or restrict you. Or maybe you literally feel restricted by the law. Maybe you literally feel restricted by society, by government, by your job, right? By the limitations of where you live, by the limitations of your financial situation, things like that. But I do think it is highlighting the persecution wound for some people here. Okay. Now I'm going to get into the cards that were pulled. Oh, the analogy. That's right, I forgot. So this volcanic analogy, 1111, was transitioning to say that or get into that. When you think of a volcano, right? A volcano is basically a mountain, for layman's terms. Just for the sake of discussion, just make it easy. But what's happening under a volcano? What's happening under the surface? It's a churning of magma. It's a churning of fire. Your solar plexus, your fire, your passion, your heat, your anger, how you cause change in the world, right? Your ability to do these things. As that magma starts to churn and churn, the pressure builds. The pressure inside, underneath earth, in the chamber, obviously, starts to build to the point where that magma wants to come up. And it's not until there's a breaking point of pressure, boiling point is what, oh, interesting. Boiling point. Some of you may have already had this boiling point moment. Some of you, it's coming up. Maybe it's happening right now, okay, as you're watching this. Maybe this is coming in just in time. A boiling point gets reached. It's really a pressure point, but boiling point is the word that wants to come through. And in that pressure point, that boiling point, that magma shoots up to the surface, reveals itself, shows itself for everyone to see. It's really just you seeing and recognizing your own frustration, stress, feeling burden. I just got chills. I said that. Your true feelings of how you feel restricted around decision making and taking action and navigating your life or certain situations. And it's, even to get even more specific, is unique to you in that way. And then that lava and that magma is now lava. When magma is outside the chamber, it's now lava. Again, layman's terms. Anyway, doesn't matter. That eruption, that's the frustration, that's the anger, that's the heat. That's the primal scream. But what happens when the lava starts to rain down? What happens when the lava starts to take on its own life outside of the chamber of the volcano? We have fire. We have lavars, which if you don't know what that means, it means it's just a volcanic flood. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Glass starts to rain down from the sky. There's ash everywhere. There's smoke everywhere. There is still fallout destruction from the primal scream of your volcano, right? So even after you let out this scream, you have this breaking point, boiling point, pressure point where that anger, that frustration, your true raw feelings really come out because you're having this alchemy of your solar plexus and it's getting cleared out, it's getting balanced. You may still feel the emotional force behind that anger, the root of that, going down to the root chakra here. Some of you, it's almost like your root is getting cleared out through your solar and your sacral is coming along for the ride, is how I want to say that. So yeah, you might feel emotional for a while. You may actually feel continued rage and frustration and anger for a while. But what's happening is you're having this sweet release. And some of you, the sweet release is also going to release beliefs that you've been carrying around of you need to take action this way, you need to do it a certain way, or you can't do it a certain way, or you're not capable, whatever it is, right? It, again, comes in a lot of flavors. So let yourself have that process. If you haven't already and you've been going through mood swings and you've been feeling kind of frustrated, you've been feeling kind of like angsty, you've been feeling kind of two of swordsy, like, do I do it this way? Do I do it that way? Oh my God, this is so frustrating. I just want to do this. I just want to do that. But if I do it like that, like, all of that shit. Or if you've been having a lot of digestion issues, let yourself have this eruption. You will be better off for it. So the cards that came out, the one, Alethea and Animal. The one with Alethea feels like this, like, really, like, what's the word I want to, the word primal keeps wanting to be used here, but it's more like a ultimate form of alignment in truth and in authenticity, fueled by the animal, fueled by primal forces of self, which is really just the very authentic self, your true feelings, your true frustrations bubbling up and breaking out to the surface. And then we have prayer with the mountain. That prayer is where I felt that sweet release. As I said, that the cops are driving away. I'm telling you, there's something about the persecution wound in this that has been affecting the collective or whoever's resonating with this and your ability to take action and your ability to make decisions. It has affected your ability to, I want to say, exercise your own masculine energy in a healthy, balanced way that makes you feel supported, that makes you feel safe. Okay? You may have projected this out to other people. Gender doesn't matter here, but probably men or people that you see as being very masculine, but gender doesn't apply there. But I want to come back to prayer. Prayer is definitely this like sweet release of that primal scream. The animal is the scream, the prayer is the come down. It's the release of that. And mountain is interesting here. When the mountain card came out, I was like, oh, it just confirmed my volcanic messages. Words, sorry. In reference to this, mountain can also bring a sense of groundedness and safety and security. Sometimes the mountain can be a symbol of protection and also challenges. I do feel like you're going to feel like you have moved mountains after this release, and the mountains you have moved have been in your solar plexus. Like blockages, I want to say. Okay. Some of you guys, that's ancestral stuff. You know who you are, where that applies. But you are going to feel so much more confident for it. And they're drawing me down to the root now. They're drawing me down to the root. Your root is going to feel much more stable as well. I want to say you're like clearing something out from the root and the solar, but it needs to come out as an eruption. And now they're highlighting the throat and through the throat as well. There's something about putting words to this or just allowing it to be expressed in truth of what those frustrations are, what those blockages are, what those beliefs are that have been restricting your solar plexus. Again, your solar is definitely getting purged and cleared out here. Okay. So I hope that makes sense. I'm going to pull a couple other cards here, and then I think I'm going to close out because I do feel like mostly this was a channeled message. I was going to do from star codes, but maybe not. You know what? Let's do animals. Animals feel appropriate. Nine of Swords was trying to come out of another deck as I pulled that. Yeah, before this eruption happens or as it's trying to happen, remember the churning in the solar is what's driving this. The churning in the solar and the pressure. Hold on a second. The churning of the emotions is from the solar, but the pressure that's created is the pressure from not being honest about what those feelings are, not being honest about the churning, not being honest about the frustration. That's what causes the pressure and the breaking point, hence the letting it out. Makes sense. Okay. Oh, collective. Any messages or insights, please? for the collective that's resonating with this message. Any other messages or insights for the collective that's resonating with this message? So now I'm like so aware of the outside. Sorry. Snake. So snake is all about tapping into untapped potential. But if anything, it just feels like, yes, obviously that is happening because there is this alchemy, there is this purging, this burning away, this clearing out, right, of some of these beliefs and some of these feelings that have compromised your ability to really utilize your own solar plexus, your own yang energy in a healthy, balanced, supportive way for yourself, right? Um, but with the yeah, I'm just feeling the alchemy. I'm feeling the devouring actually is what I'm feeling. Yeah, that's honestly what I'm feeling with the snake is the actual alchemy of your solar plexus. But mhm. Root chakra, kundalini rising, right? As well from the root all the way through the solar, all that red to yellow. Rebirthing energy, you can even equate it to that. Yeah, you like you are a volcano, you are erupting. And again, if you are like they're bringing up the earthquake energy again, if you are like sensing like the earth is moving, the earth's always moving. The earth always be moving. Okay. Um, I really want to say it's literally your own internal volcano getting ready to finally explode. Okay. Because it's time that it comes out of you. It's time it comes out of your body. It's time it leaves you. Um, okay. What I'm about to say is I think only gonna resonate for a very small group of people who resonate with this particular message. All right. Those of you who are very connected to the earth grid, to Mama Earth, right? Pachamama's coming through as well. Those who know that they are a force of nature because of your relationship and your unique magic to nature, there may be some earthquake activity that comes up around you as this is happening. But that's because of your connection. If you feel drawn to go somewhere randomly, like to a volcano, to a place where there's a lot of earthquakes, and then this comes up within you, it's because you were supposed to be there. Because that it's like that energy helps you with this process. You see what I'm saying? It's like I know those who resonate with what I just said, you know what, you know what, you know. I know you know. You know I know that you know. Okay. Okay. Being around nature where there is already a lot of plate tectonic activity, and if you don't know what those terms are, it's just earthquake activity, seismic activity, or where there are volcanoes, the fact that you are just connecting to those energies will help to facilitate that energy coming out within you. Some of you may feel, is that a bumblebee? It is not the season for that. Fascinating. Take that as a sign. Um, for those of you who just feel like you are strong channelers of energy, you may find yourself in places like this or around like an earthquake of some nature, and you're able to channel that energy through you. And maybe you're assisting Earth even in that way. I don't feel like that's for planetary guardians. Okay. Just needed to be said. If that doesn't apply to you and you're like, what are you talking about? Don't worry about it. Can I get another card for this collective, please? Talk about eruption, man. Earthworm and Scorpion. Of all of the cards in this deck, I would say Scorpion is probably the most volcanic. You see that fire spewing out of the tail, the root, the root chakra, with all the colors of the root, the sacral, and the solar. Just saying. This card specifically speaks of holding on to things. But with the earthworm is like a 0 point. It's like the full card. It's a whole new beginning. It's a clean slate. This is absolutely about releasing these things that you have been I wanna say that you haven't even been consciously holding on to. I wanna say that have been trapped in your body, is what that feels like to me. And again, for those who identify as planetary guardians, I think you're actually channeling some of this energy for Earth or to Earth. Interesting. Maybe in like assisting the collective moving through this kind of release as well. It's very volcanic. It's very volcanic. And again, I'm really getting people who are really strongly tied to Earth in this particular portion of saying that. But release what the body's been storing, specifically the root, the solar, and maybe even the sacral. But the root and the solar are really highlighted here. And I want to say they're being highlighted because it is a lot of masculine energy in particular that is being referenced here. Even if it's happening through feminine rage. Some of you guys needed to hear that. Even if it's happening through feminine rage. Oh, here we go. Where institutions, other people, even yourself, that feminine rage is there because these institutions, other people, even yourself, have lacked the capability of utilizing that masculine, divine masculine energy in a way to properly protect. That is how that wants to come through. That is not for everybody, but some of you have been feeling that there's specifically feminine rage, which a man can feel feminine rage as well. That's part of it. That's part of it. I wouldn't be shocked if this comes up in the collective and we start to see that kind of trickle out in these communities where we talk about gender roles and dating and men do this and women do that and blah 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 blah, all that projection stuff. All that projected stuff. But it is time to let it go. It's time to purge it out of your body. Some of you guys may get sick. I'm not gonna lie. It's like I keep getting digestion shit. Okay. Digestive problems that do not feel good, but it needs to come out. It needs to come out. It needs to come out. Okay, we're gonna pull a couple tarot cards and then we're gonna bounce. All right, just a couple. I don't even know what to call this reading. I'm just gonna trust for those who it's for. Y'all will find it. Okay. Final messages or insights for this collective. As far as the tower's not out here. Well, this is nice. I do like that. We have the Hermit, Six of Swords, and Temperance. These are very peaceful cards coming out here. And if anything, this almost feels like the come down. Okay. The come down of the eruption, the primal scream, the release and recognition of your frustration and your anger and your rage and your resentment. I keep getting a little bit of a rebel streak in there too, for those who resonate with that. But Hermit, Six of Swords, and Temperance, this is all about the pursuit of peace. All of that is the pursuit of peace, the pursuit of the course, the path of least resistance is what I'm getting. And also one that's very healing and that's in alignment with spirit, with Temperance being there. Okay. Knight of Swords at the bottom. It's underneath that. Speaking truth, ethical truth. Well, ethics. I'll just say ethics, morals, values on what is right, what feels just. Interesting. We have Nine of Wands and the King of Swords. This feels like an energy being held back. Ten of Swords is also trying to make an appearance here. Hold on, I have to sneeze. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot he was there. I was trying not to sneeze into the microphone for those who have headphones on. Oh, my bad. Nine of Wands and the King of Swords. This is absolutely a feeling of being guarded and held back. The Nine of Wands, but that King of Swords is masculine energy, but it's the strategist, right? It is the masculine aspect of all of us that strategizes, that tries to figure out a plan, that tries to figure out what to say, when to say it. That one that makes decisions. Okay, the one that makes decisions. Go figure. The Nine of Wands to me is screaming guarded, defensive, wounded, and I'm not going to lie, I'm also hearing the word selfish or self-involved, self-focused. This can be about other people. This can also be about yourself. And I do feel like at the end of the day, most of this is about the self. And then it's also words. So sorry. I would say most of the information that comes through in readings is always about the self, and then it also is reflective of how we've projected that out into our reality or how it gets projected out into our reality. We can see these aspects in other people as well. Okay. But Nine of Wands is like, I'm climbing the mountain, I'm doing the most, I'm doing the most, I'm trying, I'm trying, I'm trying, I'm trying, I'm trying. And it is a building of pressure. It's a building of pressure. It's a building of physical energy to the point of fatigue, to the point of frustration, to the point of, I don't know if I can do this anymore. And then, right? Of trying to figure shit out. That's totally that frustration energy that I was getting right out of the gate. One final card, and then I'm going to close this out. Queen of Cups. Cancer. This is the feminine, the mother. This is also about the emotional body. And like I said, once that eruption happens, the emotion behind that anger and frustration can finally start to happen, which is very healing. It's very healing to have that happen, even if it still burns, even if it still stings a little, even if you still have a little bit of waves of anger and frustration that come up, right? I'm getting a lot of like doubts. Like some of you guys, I think, have been dealing with a lot of doubts or self-esteem issues, again, of like around not feeling totally capable of navigating or making certain decisions. That's not for everybody, but I am getting some of that. But that's why the Queen of Cups is here. This is what's at the bottom. Nine of Swords, fear and anxiety and worry. One more for the Queen of Cups. One more for the Queen of Cups. And then I will close this out. Another cup card showed up. One more for the Queen of Cups. Nine of Cups. Hope. The word hope is wanting to come through here pretty strongly. Hope, wish fulfillment, happiness, joy. We have Queen of Swords at the bottom. Now the feminine is really starting to show herself, right, within all of us here. This is well beyond the come down, where it is this feeling into joy and hope that being the biggest thing here. Hope is restored even within yourself about yourself. I feel like there's also going to be a clarity of the path ahead of how to stay in this Nine of Cups energy. And it is very, I just keep getting it's healing after dealing with that, purging that, alchemizing that. Some of you, this may conclude around the 23rd of February. That's just when Mars goes stationary direct, because this is very much a Mars retrograde lesson. And I don't think it's a coincidence that this is also trying to come up in the Aries reading I was trying to do over on Patreon, right? Because again, also we have Chiron and Aries, wounds and shit, right? Trauma. And Venus and Aries also highlighting the importance of the feminine here, ushering us into what we're going to be learning with Venus going retrograde. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if some of you, the come down completes around February 23rd. Even 22nd, 22nd's being highlighted here. All right, I'm going to go. This feels very complete. For those who resonate with this, I hope that this message found you well, and I hope it has supported you and helped you and made you feel better about all of that. So erupt. Let yourself erupt. It's going to be healing. You need it. It is absolutely a clearing and a purging, and you're going to feel so much better after the fact, even after the prolonged come down. Okay. But I'm going to hop off. So again, hopefully you enjoyed this, and I will see you later. Bye. Take care.